What's up, world? This is Yuri, aka Russian Prototype. Welcome to the live show. Tonight is August 24th, Tuesday. What a great time to be alive. We have some early birds in the house tonight. We engaged with Sadie. She was the first comment today. She was super proud. I saw it earlier and I said LOL, LOL, and Sadie responded, don't laugh. Elmao, I'm proud. So shout out to Sadie for being the very first person in the comments today. We have Heather in the house as well. Thank you for being here. Super happy to see you. Curious Light Channeler. Thank you for being here. Awesome to see you. Strong Ballerina in the house. Early Birds, that's right. Great to see you. Jamie is in the house. Awesome to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Looks like Becky is here as well. Hello, Becky. Thanks for hanging out. Cheyenne is in here as well. Hello, Cheyenne. Some awesome people here tonight. So as well for commenting the article that we'll be looking at, I think is lagging. The weather is bad here. I hope that I'm not going to lose you, and I hope that you're not going to lose me. I can see that my Wi-Fi has one bar right now. I probably should have connected by the wire. Let me know in the comment if you can see me and if you can hear me okay. I'm kind of worried now that my signal is not super good right now. But with that being said, recently we talked about many topics, and not all of them were happy, bubbly topics. Some of them were, I don't want to say dark, but they were very real. They dealt with problems in relationships. We talked about casual relationships. We talk about pretenders. We talk about how to identify different signs in the relationship. So today we're going to flip the script and we're going to talk about more happy topic, right? And the topic is 10 early signs your relationship will last. This actually may be more enjoyable for many people to hear. Okay. And this is an important topic, I believe, that we need to talk about, because just as much as we need to understand the bad signs, we need to be able to understand early good signs so we know what to look for. Hello, Felicia. Thanks for being here. Therefore, we're going to do that. This is an article that comes from HuffPost.com. If you will appreciate the article, if you will enjoy it, couple of things you can do. You could even take a screenshot of this, or I probably can just post it on my community tab later, the actual link for you to click on. So either way, if you would like for me to post it in the community tab later on, just let me know in the comments, okay? But this is the actual link that we're going to look at. So with that being said, let's go ahead and pull it up. I already have it up. So this is the actual article, 10 early signs your relationship will last, okay? For you, be sure. I think the internet is acting up a little bit. I can feel it. Goodness gracious, this weather is not good. What I was saying is just make sure to comment your thoughts in the comments. If you have some questions for each other or questions for me, or if you would like to bring up a point of discussion, please include it in the comments, okay? But we're going to go ahead and jump into it with the first point, which is a first sign. You feel comfortable being yourselves around each other. In early stages of a relationship, people tend to present only the sparkliest versions of themselves, hiding anything that could make them seem less desirable in their partner's eyes. But when you don't feel like you constantly need to impress your partner to earn their affection, because you know this person likes you, warts and all, it bodes well for your future as a couple. Yes, you're going to see me struggling reading English as well. That's part of the deal here, okay? So you feel comfortable being yourself around each other. And see, when I see this, my mind goes to authenticity. And I think all of you can probably think of a person that you went out on a date with who just wasn't themselves, wasn't himself. And I guess, how did it make you feel? That's probably was pretty strange, right? Maybe a little bit accurate, maybe a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe it made you feel like, what's going on? Why are you acting like that? I know I've been in situations like that on both sides. I've been in a situation where I did not act like myself, and I've been in a situation where I felt like the other person acted like somebody else. So quite interesting thing to experience. I think there is something to be said about a person who feels comfortable in his or her own shoes, pure. This internet is this internet, I'm telling you. I have one bar. Goodness gracious, I'm just praying. Give me the signal, God. Give me the signal. So there's something refreshing about a person who seems relaxed, seems to be just carrying a casual conversation, and a person who's not phased by nervousness, and by stage is not too big for that person. And I think that matters. I think that matters when it comes to making a first impression, a really good first impression, because that authenticity in that attitude of being relaxed, it can really set yourself up for success, in my opinion. But I wanna see what you are thinking about this. Let's see. It says we're kind of losing you in the connection of the internet. Okay, let me go ahead and plug in the wire. Okay, I need to make sure I do not unplug something incorrectly here. Give me just a moment. I should have done it before the stream, but I figure I won't need it. And of course I do. So here we go. I was like, let me not unplug the mic. This is just going to be an emergency one. So hopefully it works. Hopefully it works. Thank you for the comment, Curious Light, Channeler. Let's look. Sorry about the lag and freezing. I apologize about that. Hopefully you can hear and see me okay. Fernand Rees, hello. How are you today? Thank you for joining. Cheyenne said, Yuri, I did what you said to ask the woman. Please get seen. Her smile was so cute. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I'm sorry. I know connection issues. It's the weather is really bad here. I apologize. Sadie said it wasn't a date, but I know a lot of people who put on this mask around different people, and I always find it very uncomfortable. So just to remind everyone, we are talking about you feel comfortable being yourself around each other, which is the first sign that we're looking at. And tonight's topic is 10 early signs your relationship will last. That's what we're doing right now, okay? Didn't mean to do that. Let me go back. So Sadie said it wasn't date, but I know a lot of people who put on this mask around people, different people, and I always find it very uncomfortable. And I do too. I think people can feel it. I really do. Becky said, I'm authentic with my friends, but as soon as one asks for an official date, I will make sure I look my best. I think looking your best is a good thing under any circumstance. I don't think that it's a losing recipe. I don't quite get when people I think confused, and I think in United States is like it's very laid back culture, but I think people also confused being laid back and not giving effort for look the best possible way to dress to impress, you know, to create a good impression on your first date. All right. Looks like Brian is in the house as well. I just saw you. Here we go. Brian is in the house. How are you? Thank you for joining. Appreciate you. Um, good stuff. Hopefully you can hear and see me okay. Hopefully there is no lag. And if there is, let me know in the comment. But we can move to number two. Number two is you consistently show up for one another. You call when you say you are going to call. When you agree to do something, it gets done. If you commit to a plan, your partner knows you will stick to it, and vice versa. You know you can count on each other for things big and small. Oh my God, this is a big one. This is a really, really, really big one. Why? Because if you cannot trust another individual, then this is not going to work most likely long term, at least in my opinion. So if I'm going to go on a date with you, and I already described few of these instances to you, if I'm going to go on a date and a person just runs late and not letting me know that she's running late, or worse yet, does not even show up to the date, those things are just a bad first impression. And this could just kind of shatter your trust from the beginning. Let me know if you can hear me. If you can hear me and if you can see me, please leave me a comment, okay? Please leave me a comment because I can't really tell if I'm frozen or if I'm not frozen right now. I hope I'm not frozen right now. Hopefully you can hear me and you can see me. Okay, perfect. All right. Sorry about all these technical difficulties. Technology is not guaranteed, right? So yes, as I was saying, you know, the individuals who are not communicating and who have these type of first impressions, that come across as if they cannot be counted on, this is going to be harder for you to communicate in the same way with them going forward, because this initial trust, I feel like it's not been established. But this point is also, it goes beyond just basic communication, I feel like, because this has to do with both partners having each other back, you know. So if you read the way it reads, when you agree to do something, it gets done. If you commit to a plan, your partner knows you will stick to it, and vice versa. So that, which means that both people sticking to the plan. So when you have each other's back, right? When you have each other's back, this creates very strong bond, in my opinion. This goes beyond just this initial good impression. This is one of those things that you can really build on. If I know that my woman has my back, then I'm going to be so much more tempted to just go an extra mile for her, to stand up for her, to defend her, you know, to be a protector. I think it just opens up like a variety of benefits down the road, and it creates really strong rapport. So let me see, what are you thinking? Sadie said, showing up for each other is so important because it shows reliability in the relationship. That's exactly how I feel. In the reliability in the relationship, this is a long-term solution, or a recipe for success, rather, you know? Jamie said, I'm usually early, and if I'm going to be late, I always call. To me, that is good manners. Yes. When you are considerate, it really is a great sign of person who unselfish, I would say. Let's see. Sadie said reliability as well as accountability. Yes. I think accountability is kind of fading away nowadays with the culture that we have, with the dating culture, especially for younger people. It's like there's less and less accountability, I feel like. Jamie said being there is really important, especially for international dating. Yes, especially when you're dating long distance, for sure. This is even more critical when you're communicating with someone over the phone and you don't have them by your side. Becky said it's very important to respect someone's time and keep your word. That's also a really good point, because if you don't respect my time, especially in the beginning, this makes me feel as if this is going to be a waste of my time. I think everyone wants to feel respected to some extent. We continue to talk about respect. It continued to be like a point of discussion all the time, but I just don't see successful relationships without respect being a part of it. Strong Ballerina said reliability, emotionally, spiritually, practically. I like that. I like that. Good thoughts. Good thoughts so far. Let's go to number 3, shall we? Number 3, you are forthcoming about your past. While you're not going to unload all your baggage on the first date, once you are in a relationship, it's a good sign if you're able to slowly open up to each other. They might mean coping to a mistake you've made or struggles you have been through, like mental health or substance use issues. Look, the thing is, it doesn't mean, in my opinion, it doesn't mean that you need to just, bring your dirty laundry out and put it on the table on the first date. I think that they could be done gradually. But I do believe that if you are transparent about your past, and if you open to share these things with the other person, it just continues to build trust. How would I go about it? I think it could even be described in general terms first. So something like, hey, so I've had some instances of being a little bit selfish in the past, and maybe give 1 or 2 examples. I did A, B, and C, and when I reflected on it, here's what I learned. Something to that effect. I think everyone will share something that they're comfortable with. Like it's not going to be same across the board, because some people are going to be reserved in nature naturally. But I also think there is a way to just stay within the confines of what you're comfortable with and share what you can. Felicia said, too much unloading at one time can be overwhelming. Yeah, I think there is a very distinct difference between being able to be transparent with someone and share something about your past as a sign of honesty, versus just dumping all your skeletons in the closet out on the table. Because if you start sharing everything, it start feeling like confession. It's like you start feeling like you are a priest, sitting across from someone, across a sinner. And that's not what we're doing right now. This is not a confession hour. We're not in church. I'm not a priest. You're not confessing to me. I don't think that that's a way to go. Just showcase the fact that you have enough humility to be able to acknowledge some of the things from your past, but don't tell me all the story. And I would recommend to all of you, actually, and again, if we disagree on that, that's fine, but I would say that I would be very careful about sharing your secrets. I'll be very, like, secrets, there's going to be some things that you've done that maybe you're not proud of, or things that you need to work on, that maybe you are self-conscious about, right? So I would not be sharing these things. These are things that personal in nature. Those are things that you need to take care of. There's going to be some personal things, in my opinion, that don't need to be shared, right? They're not concerned. We're not talking about one of those things to where it's concerning other person. The other person's well-being is not affected in this case. We're talking about some of the things that we as people need to work on, and they are very near and dear to our heart, and they don't need to be out in public. So I would caution you about sharing too much and sharing your own secrets. Becky said, on a date, I try not to bring up the past, but oh gosh, I can't read, you guys. On a date, I try not bring up the past, but will give an honest answer if they ask something. This is not a bad strategy. If people inquiring again, and I think it goes to a previous point to where everybody's going to feel different about how they navigate these situations. Some of that could be also felt based on natural conversation flow. You don't have to prepare a script you're going to use. Just see how the day goes and go from there. Jamie said, at Felicia, absolutely, a wave of info is too much. Curious Light, staying pure in a relationship is also very important in the heart and mind. Purity is power and innocence is power. The heart and mind, purity is power and innocence is power. Give me an example if you have one, Curious Light. Felicia, but it's important life information. You better be up front. If you got 5 baby mamas, tell me, and I will and I will politely something. I think you didn't finish. Yeah, I don't think they're going to tell you they have 5 baby mamas. But I think it is important information. Strong ballerina, trust has to be built before certain things are shared. That's true. That is what I was talking about. Some of the things is going to be too early to talk about in the beginning. Sadie said, I would say open it up in an appropriate manner at the appropriate times. Shows the ability to put trust in your partner, but a lot of people need to understand some things do not need to be shared. I agree with that. I think some things don't need to be shared. You don't need to be your own executioner, so to speak, on the first date. That doesn't need to happen. You need to take it as it comes, share enough information for somebody to get to know you, and then decide what information you don't need to be sharing right now. Felicia, it is important life info that will affect the possibility of a relationship, then it's okay to share. Yep. Like if you have 5 baby mamas and 7 kids, I will be thankful that you were honest, and I will kindly say that I will not be baby mama number 6. Shanette, there is a lot in my past that will scare guys away, but with my anxiety disorder, I have to share eventually, but never sure when to say it. That's a really good point too. Selecting the appropriate time to share those things. Jamie said, children, previous marriage, work, and family, I think, is important information to share. I think those are good points. Elvia, hello, thanks for being here. So what can we tell? What can you tell? I mean, I think a lot of people will recommend staying on neutral topics. A lot of people will recommend talking about, what you do for a living, your preferences, your hobbies, what do you enjoy to do. I think a lot of people will tell you to stay away from traumas. A lot of people will tell you to stay away from criticizing. How can you showcase your personality and still being you without giving away your life story? Because the point of a first date isn't to tell your life story. If you're compatible with someone, I think you have the entire life to live to get to know your life story. I think the point of it is can you meet the person and like the person based on who they are? Obviously, it doesn't mean that they don't need to be honest. They need to be honest. But I think that this is a gradual process of getting to know each other. You can tell somebody your life story on the first date, And that does not mean that they're going to appreciate you for that. In fact, they can come across as overwhelming amount of information. So to answer your question, you are the judge what you can tell. But I would recommend talking about what do you like, what are your hobbies, what do you do for work, what are your dreams, what do you want out of your relationship, what your dream relationship looks like. Ask another person what his or her expectations, what do they want eventually, what are their family goals, information that are relevant for your dating endeavor with that person. Sadie said, however, even if your partner trusts you enough to open up about something, it is important to see things with an open mind and an open heart. I like it. Politics and religion stances are usually withheld into info until the right time for some people. This is actually a good point, because sometimes when you start venturing into these territories, this can go south rather quickly. So if you are a conservative person and you have, a liberal person across from you at the table, and you start having these discussions, and both of you feel strongly about your views, your date could be over right there. Same thing with religion. I mean, this is just a very controversial and strong topics that people not necessarily know how to handle at times. And so I would say this is a good idea to be mindful that this maybe staying away from those topics that people feel super strongly about. Let's go to number 4. You celebrate each other's accomplishments. Couples with longevity always remember that they are on the same team. One partner's success shouldn't be threatening or jealously inducing. It's a win for both of you and should be celebrated as such. Another great example, I think, here, because, jealousy is a real thing. Jealousy is a real thing. And when you're not able to celebrate your significant other successes as if it is your success, the question becomes why. Why are you not happy? If your significant other is succeeding at something, if your significant other is happy about any particular thing that he or she is experiencing, but you sitting there not acknowledging that, or you having a sour face. You see, I think one of the most difficult parts about relationships is that when situations like this arise, when, let's say, your significant other has a promotion, job promotion, and let's say you had the shittiest day in the world. Let's just say you had terrible day. Somebody offended you at work. You couldn't get your work done. Maybe kids at home being pain in the ass. You had the worst day ever. Your significant other had a promotion that he or she really wanted. You got to put your problems aside, homie. You gotta make an effort, or the effort, to celebrate your significant other accomplishments like it's your own. If you're able to do that, this is what's going to create connection. That's what's going to really matter to other person. This is my thoughts on it. This is my take. So imagine that you scoring. When your significant other is succeeding, is you succeeding. Your significant other is, accomplishing something, that's you accomplishing something. Let's see what we have. Cheyenne said, many guys on Tinder say in their bio, no liberals or no Trump supporters. Okay, I think it's with the previous point. We passed that, but yeah, I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't even go with politics. But curious light, for example, not letting your past that holds you back influence your relationship. Cheyenne said, oh, my ex would get jealous of everything it was so weird. Even if I scored a lot in bowling, he would get very mad about it like a child, very unattractive. Yeah, those type of things need to be celebrated. Those type of things need to be celebrated. I think that if you're a secure person, why not celebrate the successes of your other? Of your significant other. Why not? What holds you back? If you know it's going to make her feel good, and if you really care about that person, why not celebrate their successes? Being your significant other's top cheerleader is a great thing. 100%. 100%. You should always be happy for your significant other. Their joy should be your joy. That's exactly right. That is exactly right. Their joy should be your joy. And when they feel it, remember, I think we talked about it in the past, but remember, I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to keep saying it. What is going to make you a family? Because you're not family by blood. Let's assume that we're talking about long-term relationship now, not first date, not I'm making these connections now, okay? So we are talking about 10 early signs your relationship will last. But let's fast forward it. Let's assume that you are now being married. You went through all the stages. You love each other. You're getting married. What it is, in your opinion, that's going to make you family? Do you think it's marriage? Do you think it's rings? Do you think it's pretty wedding? I don't think so. I think what's going to make you family is how you treat each other every day. And what makes it so difficult, in my opinion, is the fact that you're not blood family. So you are two strangers that met each other, fell in love with each other. There was some sort of attraction that grew hopefully into something more, and now you decided to live together. But all of this can be taken away. All of this could end unless both of you doing these exact things. What's going to make somebody fall in love with you and create a true bond, I believe, is those type of things. If you're happy for your significant other, and your significant other feels the joy in your eyes, right? In your voice, in your demeanor, they feel joy for themselves in you. Now imagine how that makes them feel. That makes them feel like, oh my God, like this person is my true partner. This person is the one that I can really spend my life with. This is not just my wife. This is my friend. And I think this is the ideal. This is the idea, right? This is what a lot of people would love to be. But what does it come down to? And I'm going to be very practical with you, as I normally am. It comes down to these intentional actions. It comes down to hard work. Why hard work? Because sometimes you're not going to feel like being a cheerleader. As I mentioned, the example with you having a shitty day, the last thing you want is smiling and pretend like you're happy for somebody, right? But if you pretend long enough, if you really want to be there for that person, and even if you have a bad day, manage it, right? Manage it. Maybe it's not going to be the same level of excitement every time, but there's got to be a way that you're going to transfer this energy still and showcase that you do care. Becky said, I'm always happy for a significant other when they do well. They deserve to be acknowledged and appreciated. That's awesome. Urlike and Brenda, Canada, hello. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for stopping by. Curious Light, jealousy is just showing something deep inside yourself, what it is trying to tell you. I do believe there is jealousy is a reflection of some internal things within the person, It may be some belief system you are unaware of subconsciously. Good point. Could be. All right, let's go to the next number, shall we? Number 5. You sincerely apologize to each other when you are done something wrong. And no, I'm sorry you feel that way doesn't count as a genuine apology. Two people who take responsibility for their missteps, instead of rattling off a bunch of excuses for their behavior are more likely to move through rough patches without lingering resentments. Look at the wording of it. Two people who take responsibility for their missteps. This is so important, right? Because what usually happens when people apologize, it could be like, hey, I'm sorry. Hey, like throwing you a piece of bone, you know? Or people say like, well, yeah, I did it, but I did it because, she did something else. Or I did that because something else affected me or made me do that, right? How many times are, people are truly take responsibility for their missteps? I think generally speaking, people are forgiven. I think a lot of people are reasonable in nature. When you're going to approach people and say, listen, this was on me. I messed up. I believe that more people than not, they will be open to listen, and they will, you know, they will support you. They will tell you it's okay. Things happen. Now, if they don't, if they're going to kick you when you're down, I think that could be concerning sign as well. Now, like reversing the roles, right? So if you have a partner who not understanding of when you're making mistakes, that could be a red flag too. They could be kind of on them at those points. And then of course it's like, are you always making mistakes? Like, are these mistakes like childish mistakes? Right? We can go in a rabbit hole with this, no doubt. But the important point is like, do couples take responsibility? If you are running late, say like, hey, I'm sorry. I messed up. I ran late. I know there was traffic, but I should have left earlier, you know? Um, and I think when that happens, it shows humility. It shows the person is not too cool to admit their fault, you know? And that person actually sort of trusts you. Because what happens also, you open up, you become vulnerable. When you apologize like this, when you tell somebody it's your fault, you're vulnerable. You know, at that point, somebody can hurt you and say like, well, that was a stupid decision, right? If somebody says that to you, that means like, wow, they really want to put some salt on an open wound. But I think people who are able to do that, humility wins. In the end, humility wins. Hearing about my parents' good day lifts my mood. It gives a happy moment to take away my own troubles to me. Nice. My BF apologized for something yesterday. He said, I did wrong. I am sorry. Please forgive me. It was very insincere. That's nice. That is very nice. Being able to apologize to each other is a sign of maturity in love. Whew, excuse me. I would agree with this statement. Being the bigger person and owning up to one's wrongdoings, that's being a mature adult. Two mature adults in a flourishing in a relationship is a beautiful thing. I like word flourishing, Felicia. That sounds like we're going places. Flourishing. My bad does not count as an apology. Yeah, that's too easy. That's not saying anything. Yes, sincerity is important, especially when it isn't solicited. When someone takes the initiative to apologize, it also shows they know right from wrong / hurtful. I like it. I like it. I like it. Thank you for your comments. I appreciate it. Let's go to the next number. which is number 6. You are both good listeners. Oh, this is a really good one, huh? When you try to talk to your partner, do they interrupt you, scroll through Instagram, or watch Succession over your shoulder? Or do they maintain eye contact, respond thoughtfully, and remember the things you tell them? Even the little stuff, like your favorite gelato flavor or the name of your family dog. This is a big one because I think a lot of people are not good listeners. You know, you can actually see, you know, some of the like first dates that you go out to, you can already kind of tell whether somebody is going to be a decent listener or not, because some people just struggle to listen well on the first date. It's like they sometimes picking on their phone, they're like looking on different sides, they can't maintain eye contact. So it's like the signs are the writing is on the wall. Why I think it's so important is because listening is caring. Listening is caring. If you listen, it means that you care enough to understand, to hear and understand and comprehend what other person is saying beyond just your own thoughts, right? Because a lot of times people just wait for people to done talking so they can just get their thoughts across, right? So I think partially we don't even necessarily always comprehend fully what other people saying because we already conserved in our own mind. And I think mind and brain will do that. Like once you have a thought, like you're trying to get that thought out before you forget because it's fresh, it's right there in the moment, right? So sometimes you're thinking about how you're going to formulate that thought and how you're going to present that thought before the other person even done talking. So sometimes you have to just jump in. You just have to. You have no time to listen to, you just have to do it right now. But you can train yourself. You can train yourself because when you catch yourself having that thought, and when you catch yourself wanting to jump in before somebody else finishes, before somebody else has finished their thoughts, that's how you know. That's how you know you have to scale back. You have to tell yourself, hold on, wait, let the other person finish. Let's see. Cheyenne said, well, Yuri, they could be nervous. Is that in regards to both good listeners or another point? Tell me what it's in regards to, Cheyenne. Curious Light. Honestly, I have a hard time listening to people, especially if they're boring. What about one person, Curious Light? Can you listen to one person? Strong Ballerina. Listening versus hearing. Some people are thinking about how they're going to respond. Exactly what I was talking about. Becky is a big put off if I'm on a date and they are not really listening. There won't be a second date if they are messing with the phone, etc. Fair. Very fair. Jamie, oh, so many people don't listen. I see this all the time. It drives me crazy. Felicia, being a mom has forced me to be a good listener. Even when I don't understand what the hell is going on. ADHD me. Nice. We are talking about 10 early signs your relationship will last. Today, we are talking very important things that you need to be able to listen, that you need to be able to understand, and that you need to be able to comprehend in your mind and in your conscience. Relax your mind. Everything's going to be all right. This was some ADHD preview for you. Oh, yes, children are great at training parents for listening. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Oh, is it something different? I thought that I was doing. Oh my God. I thought that I was doing ADHD, but I was doing AMSR. Oh, people probably like, what's wrong with this guy? What's wrong with this crazy guy? What is he doing? Oh, that's so funny to me, yo. That's so funny. Hey, that was A. A. It was A. The capital A was the first letter. So my brain went, I got to whisper, don't kill the messenger, whatever. Felicia said, Jamie, especially when it comes to them talking about things like they like. Kids will talk all day about Minecraft and Roblox. At least my kid does. Oh yeah, you guys had some good time with that, right? That was a major blooper. Yeah, apparently I wasn't okay. Apparently I did. I don't even know what ADHD isn't that like it's a disorder, right? It's a disorder. And you would just look at the ADHD and start whispering. That's cool. That's funny, yo. All right, let's go for number 7. You share similar values and common life goals. For a relationship to have longevity, your major goals should be in alignment. If you are on the same page on what matters, like your views on monogamy, your desires to start a family, and your financial goals or habits, you can avoid some major rifts down the line. Yes, 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 yes. Similar values and common life goals. That goes without saying. If you have different mission statements, then why are you in the same company? If one of you wants to have a family and another one wants to travel the world and, you know, live out of the tent, it might be a misalignment, just a little bit, right? I mean, you can still take a chance, I suppose, but being aware and managing your expectations properly is important. It's important if you don't want to waste your time. And look, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard because you might like someone. You might genuinely like them. But if there is a misalignment in goals, you have to really make a hard decision. Are you going to, submit to their goals? Are you going to join them in kind of helping them, not helping them accomplishing their goals, but are you going to change your goals because they have different goals? And if you say yes, I mean, like, I think you can be your own judge on that. But if not, then chances are things not going to work out. Curious Light, the way you speak with your words is perfect. I'm able to process everything you are saying. Is it pertaining to AMSR or in general? Thank you, Curious Light. Similar values that you actually live helps to establish a solid foundation. I think it's absolutely the case, Strong Ballerina. It's foundation, and then it's working towards those same goals. So it's like you becoming a team, right? You're no longer just two entities doing something for yourself. You're like working towards something together. Like that's big. Becky said, I think one of the biggest mistakes people make is not being honest about their values because they are trying to make it fit, but it will come back to haunt you. Oh, yeah. I think people do try to make it fit. And I think I understand why, partially because people trying to make things work. They want sometimes to make things work. But, and we talked about it before, I think people will get in relationships assuming that person will change, or assuming that they can mold a person into something. And I think this is a recipe for disaster. I'm not saying the person has to be there 100%, but I think foundation needs to be there. Like, and I think those goals, values is this foundation. If you don't have the same values and if you don't have the same goals, how can you work? So values can be things like, for one person is important to be healthy, for another person is not important to be healthy, right? Goals could be, one person wants to own a house by the age 35 or 40. Other person wants to leave and travel out of what is those big vans, RVs, right? I mean, we're talking about those type of things. I think you should each have goals, and both of you should help the other towards them, towards those goals. Yes, I think so. You may need to have a healthy compromise with your goals when in a relationship. 50-50 goals is important on both sides, if you understand what I mean. So this is actually an interesting thing to talk about, right? Because can it really be always 50-50 in a relationship? I think it's a good idea to have it, but can it always be that way? In a lot of cases, I think one person might have 60, another person might have 40. So I think you want to keep it as close as you can to 50-50, but I wouldn't lose sleep over it being exactly half and half, because I think a lot of times you end up with one person being a little bit more active, whether it means like financially more present or being more of a leader in the relationship. And it's not always men. Sometimes women could be take on those roles as well. So just a thought. Not even FEMA can fix a mess of a relationship like that. Again, an acronym that I probably should know, but I'm not exactly sure what it is. Strong ballerina, when you start putting these things, just start spelling them out, please. Let's go to number 8. Let's go to number 8. When you fight fair. Conflict is inevitable in any relationship. Having arguments doesn't mean you are incompatible. It means you are human. It's how you conduct yourselves during those heated moments that matters. So when you fight fair. Why I think this one is important is because, when people start arguing, people will say, oh, so you're going to give me a hard time about not cleaning the floor, but you remember that time when you messed something up? You remember that time when you really screwed up? So they're going to bring up something that they know will make another person feel inferior, or belittle someone. When that happens, I think that you're not fighting fair. You're not really focusing on what's in front of you. You bring up the past. You do something to show off the other person. Show them off, I guess, if that makes sense. Make them feel like you have something on them, right? This could be very painful. So I think in those type of situations, this is where people can start holding grudges. It's like, oh, okay, so we were going through this simple thing together. We were talking about who's going to clean the floor, but she brought up that one time when I really messed up badly, and she knows that I don't like talking about this one time, but she brought it up anyway, and she threw it in my face. Okay, I'll remember that. Next time, next time she messed up and she start arguing with him, he's going to bring up the time when she brought up that worst case scenario, right? So you see how it can like build up on itself, these arguments, and it could be like quicksand in a way, to where like people trying to get an upper hand, um, and therefore, what is really at stake? What's going on with this particular situation right now? And this is also a matter of respect. Because again, how many people are really going to take abuse in the relationship? You know, not for long. Nobody's that special. There's no person on earth that you should take abuse from. Like, I can't justify it. Maybe me, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm being idealistic, but I just don't think I can justify it, because this is going to create hell in your life. You're going to be living in hell and just go through abuse. Can love exist where abuse is present? This is the question for you. Please put in a comment. Can love exist where abuse is present? What do you think? Can love exist where abuse is present? Please, if you're watching live right now, please comment. Can love exist? Can love exist where abuse is present? Leave me a comment. I think both goals can be met, but one may come before the other. Then one of you has to compromise. Yeah, it's a good point. It will be rare to find a guy with same values as me. Maybe not. I'm still keeping hope, but sometimes it feels he's on another planet. So when people say that, Cheyenne, and I don't want to pick on you, but I think a lot of people will say similar things. And it's like, I mean, realistically, we just got to be careful. We just got to be careful, because when we say those things to ourselves, it's kind of has this premise that we kind of like, we fed up. And I might be wrong. You might not be fed up. I'm just saying, when I hear this, what I'm thinking about is like, man, I'm tired of this, like, these people are just different. These people don't understand me, and the way I'm thinking, and I've kind of gone that route before in the past. That's why I wanted to, kind of stay here for a moment and talk about this, because I've gone that route, and I felt disappointed, and I felt like people didn't understand me, and like going through all these different emotions, right? But then I realized, okay, so there are how many millions of people in the United States? 350, 360 people, right? There are billions of people in the world, right? But we're making these assumptions as if we have gone through everybody in our city, right? Which is not the case. Like, we've gone everybody. So my point being, like, there is never going to be a time where we might have really bad sample in our life, right? But it doesn't mean that there is not somebody out there who's going to understand you and who's going to have the same values. So the question becomes, how can we get in a mindset to where we don't get disappointed and we continue to look at the bright side? Now, looking at the bright side without action is not good. So what action can we take, right? So is there like a position, as an environment that we can put ourselves in, where we could potentially meet interesting people, right? So there could be one question. So if I like to dance salsa and I like to dance bachata and merengue, I need to go where dancers are, right? I need to figure out where the dance people are in my area, and I need to go there, because that's what I want to do, right? If you want to meet somebody with good values and stuff, where are those people hanging out? Are they going to be at the nightclub? I mean, maybe 2 out of 40. Your odds going to be slimmer. Are they going to be in school? Probably more. Are they going to be in some groups and clubs that are intellectual and stuff? Probably more. Are they going to be farmer market on Saturday, like buying good food? Maybe. So how can you put yourself in situations where you can increase your probability of meeting these people? And if you're not doing that, and I'm not talking about Cheyenne, I'm not talking just to you, I'm just talking about to people in general. If we collectively not doing that, then don't complain that we're not meeting people. You know, like it's taking personal responsibility for it, because it's not like somebody just gonna knock on your door with flowers and pizza and just gonna say, "Here I am. I have great values." Life just don't work like that, right? We gotta get up off our behind, and we gotta take action to put ourselves in a position. I'm not suggesting action to find one. It's not like you go on Amazon and buy your soulmate, right? With great values. But we can put ourselves in an environment, in some positions where we can increase the probability of meeting somebody interesting. Boom! Shakalaka. That was hot. I like what I just said. Jamie said, yes, don't bring up the things you know will be the most hurtful just to inflict pain. Don't do that. Do not do that. There's another route. There's a better route than do this. It's going to get ugly. 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 Federal Emergency Management Agency. What in the world? Strong ballerina. Why? Why are you bringing? What are these things? What are we doing here? Do you expect me to know Federal Emergency Management Agency? Is it a common knowledge, Strong ballerina? Yes, I'm calling you out. Felicia, did you have to Google it, or just like, does everybody know this crap? Is it just me? Am I supposed to know this? Well, if the past is being brought up during arguments, there was no real solution. There were no real resolution or healing. Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea. I really don't. Strong ballerina. No more abbreviations, right? Grudges, resentments, and bringing up the past is usually a sign of something unresolved in the relationship or not feel heard. The underlying issues needs to be addressed. Yes, I think it's a very good point. I think the tough part is, what if person does not want to open up? And there's going to be, look, in some instances, look, you have to take your significant other and yourself to a therapy. I think you do. I I know I say this, I would never consider it before. Would I do it with my significant other? I think I would have to. I think we'd have to sit down and talk to a trained professional, look at each other, and be honest about our communication methods if we get to that point, right? Uh, Maybe I just go out for a PhD and get a PhD in psychology. I already feel like psychologist responding, to my YouTube channel. When I receive comments under videos lately, I'm just feeling like I'm like, I tell people I'm not a psychologist. Take this with a grain of salt. These are just my opinions. Please don't base my opinions and go out and do something. These are just my opinions. All right. This is not call to action. The call to action that I'm giving you is hit the like button. All right. Not dangerous for your life. This is a call to action. I'm not calling you to action to do what I say in the comments. These are just sharing opinions. Everything I talk about here, sharing opinions, educational guesses, sharing information, all of that. Okay. Let's be very clear about that. Hello, Hazy. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you hanging out. Please comment. Becky said, I'm really mad. I will usually ask for space and talk about it after a while. Literally go in the other room. I think, look, I think asking for space, it's like showcasing, hey, work with me here, you know? Hazy said abuse is control. Mm, 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 mm. No one, no love cannot exist where abuse is present. There are opposite forces. Someone who loves you does not abuse you. Okay, so I have to admit, I have done this previously. He did something that really, really hurt me, and it was disrespectful. He never said he was sorry, and I thought I was past it, but I brought it up. I brought it up in a way that hurt him, and I didn't mean to, but I think it just left such a mark on me that I'm not able to get past it right away. Thank you for sharing that. I feel like there is always advice for women, but not enough for men. Uh, all these things that we looking at applies to men. I think it applicable to both genders. I think it's unisex. Every single thing. I believe. Some men might not agree with me, but I believe it. So I hope you're watching, man. I hope you're watching because you're going to learn something. You're going to learn something. Human relationship is complicated. It is. Do you want to have, one-sided relationship, or do you want to have a union? You know, if you want to have a united front, you're not gonna, you're not gonna force your way into it. I don't believe that. I think you're gonna have to do something different. Love will die a slow, painful death when there is abuse, leaving nothing but bitterness and resentment. The sad thing, the next man will have to help with residual pain, so unfair to everyone. Whew. It's Sadie. I think that is different if you never get resolution in an argument. It haunts you and can't be let go easily. Yes. Curious Light. Abuse is when your heart turns from light to just pure darkness. Always treat others the way they want to be treated. Thank you for your encouragement and tips. You're welcome. I hope it helps. It wasn't targeted just at you. I was talking about pretty much to everybody. Fama is a common knowledge, Yuri. Not so common for me, you guys. You can make fun of me. I don't care. What do I need to know it for? Can you explain it to me? What do I need to know it for? Maybe I will regret this. Maybe I will look at it and say, maybe I should have known that. Now I'm going to be Googling the freaking Fama for the rest of the night and what it does. Thanks a lot, guys. I was living my little comfortable life before you came in with your Fama stuff. Don't call me out when I'm tired, Yuri. Hey, strong ballerina. We just have to hold each other accountable. You live in Florida and don't know Fama. Oh my God, what is wrong with Fama? What is going on with this Fama thing? What he did was really hurtful because it put our relationship at risk, and he said he wouldn't do it again, and we talked about it, but his trust is shaky, and that's why I brought it up. Strong ballerina. I'm not gonna show you comments anymore. You're doing this again. But saying he won't do it is different from saying or admitting that he did wrong. How could you have resolution when there is no sincerity? I'm not the only one. Thanks, Hazy. I appreciate it. We have oh my god. One of you should make a YouTube channel about Fama, okay? Strong Ballerina, do you want to start a YouTube channel dedicated to Fama? Because apparently you guys are super passionate about Fama over here. You want to do a live stream dedicated to Fama? What in the world is going on here? What is Fama? What did it do? Yo, you are killing me tonight. Number 9, you are adventurous and enjoy trying new things together. If it's less than a year into your relationship and things already feel stale between you, take note and take action, because as the years go by, it's only going to become more of challenge to keep things fresh. Couples who are already in the habit of changing things up by visiting different places, taking up a hobby together, or making plans with new friends are more likely to go the distance. Actually, one of my friends was telling me about that. He's married, he now has 2 children, and that was back, his wife and him were like together. Well, they were together for a while, but I think they were married like 3 years or something like that. And he was telling me how they would go and take yoga class together, or they would go for a bike ride together. And I was like, that's interesting. It's interesting to bond while trying to do new things, while try to do activities together. It actually makes a lot of sense, because it is allows you to establish some sort of other connection. It only right if both of you can connect with one thing, and then that, you know can you imagine that you actually talk at home about like upcoming, I don't know, bike ride in the forest of Georgia? Georgia, Georgia. Can you can you imagine? Do you actually have this point of the conversation? You actually have something to look forward to together. It's not some BS like conversation about some Netflix TV show. It's not gossiping about what your friends, or I mean what your coworkers didn't do at work. It's not some stupid stuff on the news about political affiliations. It's like real life. We're going to go on a bike in an Appalachian Trail in Georgia. I think it actually goes through Georgia, I believe. Maybe it's Carolinas, but whichever state, we're going to go on a bike ride in up on Appalachian State. And here's the stops that we're going to do, and here are the things that we're going to see. And just, can you imagine this? If you're just joining, make sure you smash this like button. We're talking about 10 early signs your relationship will last. And we're talking about number 9. You are adventurous and enjoy trying new things together. That's right. Biking on the Appalachian Trail could be a cool thing that you can do as a couple. Blow off some steam, see some nature, make some memories. HTLB. Strong Ballerina, I like the fact that you are messing with me, because now I might be coming up with some acronyms and just start tagging you. And then I'm going to let you figure it out. That would be fun. I would like to see it. I think it'll be cool. I think it'll be really cool. What is your favorite chocolate bar or candy? Twix, Kit Kat. Um, there's also Mars. Mars was a little bit different. It's a little too sweet. I would have to say Kit Kat and Twix. All right. FEMA, government agency of the U.S. that handles natural disasters like hurricanes. Mr. Florida resident. Oh my God. What they have in Alabama? Do you know? Is it also FEMA? Is it just FEMA all over the United States? I'm gonna Google some stuff they have in Alabama that you don't know, Miss Alabama. I want an adventurous man for sure. We're going to go to Egypt and see the pyramids and go stargazing and search for UFOs. And I would love for him to attend MUFON conferences with me. Very nice. That sounds like a great adventure. Pyramids are amazing. Stargazing is amazing. It's incredible. Hello, Kaya. Thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Great to see you. I'm trying to make my son go to sleep, and he's trying to reason with me about why he can't. He's 2. That is great. This is awesome. Becky said, having adventures together is an important part of bonding. Yes, an important part of making memories together. Meaningful memories. Love the comments, everyone. Let's go to number 10. You spice things up in a bedroom too. What? No way. That too? Well, that's awesome. No, that doesn't mean you have to indulge every one of your partner's wild fantasies, especially any that you aren't comfortable with. But keeping an open. Can you imagine if man says that? Let's stop right here. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine if a woman comes to a man and says, I have this wild fantasy that I've been thinking about. It involves A, B, and C, and it involves you doing A, B, and C. Would you help me with this? And the man says, honey, I'm just not comfortable with that. What do you think the reaction would be? Do you think it's double standard? Do you think it's double standard just a little bit? Maybe just a tiny bit? Just a tiny bit? No? Or is it just for the fact that men just come up with nastiest things in the world? They're just not feasible for some women. I understand there is a limit. But what if what if the table has turned? What if women asking for wild fantasies? No, honey. No, not tonight. No, not tonight. Can't do it. My head hurts tonight, honey. Anyway, continue on. But keeping an open mind where you can and finding ways to satisfy each other's needs will set you up for a fulfilling sex life for years to come. You spice things up in the bedroom too. All right? Spice them up. I mean, we talked about mashed potato. Mashed potatoes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You remember that? That wasn't too long ago. Mashed potatoes all the time. You get tired of them mashed potatoes. You get tired of them. You need a little bit of gravy. You need a little bit of onion, maybe a little bit garlic, some other seasoning in there. Maybe a little bit of dill. Maybe a little bit of butter sometimes with milk to make it more creamy. Sometimes you just have to add some new ingredients that you've never had before, it's no brainer, right? It's no brainer. And look, I mean, why in the world not? I mean, if you are together and you're in a committed relationship, it's your person, right? It's your person. You're going to be talking about things. You're not just going to do crazy stuff unless you want to. So, I mean, like part of it, I think, is about exploration, right? I think we like to explore as human species. We like to explore not just places, but things, ideas, concepts, experiences. We like to explore. If there's no exploration, things get stale. This is when you sit on the couch and you end up getting fat. Yeah, you get belly. It's like this frightening place for mind and body becoming stale. I don't wish it upon nobody. I don't think anybody should become stale. Do everything you can not to become stale. You we all are living organisms. We're meant to live, move, evolve, experience. And why am I saying all these things? Because yes, it has to do with intimacy as well. That's what I'm getting at. Stale. That's right. Stale. Can you eat stale bread? You're going to spit this sucker out. Like, what is that? Tastes like stale freaking bread. Yet you tell me that you're going to accept stale sex? No. Listen, this intercourse is stale. I think we need to get rid of it. It's too stale. No. We need to change things up. I don't even know where I was with my comments. Let's bring them back. Let's bring them back. If you are just joining us, be sure to smash this like button. Let me see how many likes I have. Hold on. Stop the show. Because we have 15 people watching. We'll see how many people liking the show. I will not hesitate to bring my Ghostbusters glasses back. I will not hesitate. Only 12 likes and 15 people watching. It is time. It is time. What I'm doing right now, I'm trying to identify ghost watchers. I'm trying to see, where are you, ghosts? Are you just in the kitchen listening? Are you sitting in the living room and staring in your laptop while you just kind of hear it in one ear and let it out in another? How does it feel to be a ghost, to consume other people's content and not even smashing a like button? How does it feel? Does it feel good? Why do I need to bribe you for likes? Now 16 people watch, 16 people and 13 likes. There's some of you who did not smash the like button. Are you a ghost? Are you a little bit of whitey ghost that just flies around the kitchen with the little bitty thingies on the side and not doing anything? You just fly there? You fly there the whole time? Oh, I think I see some of you ghosts. You look so cute. 14 likes. You know, pulling likes out of people. Do you know where the like button is located? If you look underneath the video, you will see a sign like this that looks like a hand with a thumb. That's a like button. All you have to do is take your index finger and just click on this like button like this. And I will take my glasses off and my mask so I can continue talk normally like a normal person that I am. But I have to fight for my likes. I have to fight for my likes. You know? You know what? I'm gonna give myself a like, because apparently it's really hard to get those likes from people nowadays. It's really difficult. Oh, those ghosts. Let me tell you. Difficult. It's very difficult. Ghosts. It's just part of the show, yo. It's just part of the show. It's 10:25. Let's see. Let's see these comments and we're gonna wrap things up. Kai said, can't miss my daily dose of ladies harassing you. This community is near and dear to my heart. I love you, UFOs. I had some weird experiences myself with things in the sky. UFOs are amazing. Hazy said, oh yeah, spicy lingerie. That's one thing. That's one way to do it. Hello, Kristen. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you. Your lady voice is on point, Yuri. Hey, I'm practicing. I am practicing every little skills, everything. Those live streams, I'm putting myself on display. Win or lose. Let's go. I need advice. Okay. Let me know what you need. I'm gonna do my best. You know, you can always put comment here or shoot me direct message on Instagram. Women have imaginations too. Of course. Some women do ask for wildness. Some do. I wish more did. Stop being one, it's being individually. Not really, women are more creative. Not really. Women are more creative. I don't know what do you mean by that. Are you saying that women are more creative than men? And if so, how do you even measure that? Stop in one and start being individually calm. Okay, stop in one and start being individually that come together as one to share something in a spark, something to anticipate. Oh my God, I was like, why is there mashed potatoes in the bedroom? There is no mashed potatoes in the bathroom, in the bedroom. Mashed potatoes is a metaphor for same old sex. I can play a female mechanic in the role play, and I'm also one in real life, so it works out. That would be a lot of hours in the office, Felicia, right? You want to get away from it when you come back home. Yet your man is saying, "No, no, 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 you ain't done yet. You better put that outfit on, girl. You better put that mechanic outfit on. It's time to change some oils." Mashed potatoes with your legs behind your head, lots of milk. Oh, you are so amazing. These comments are just amazing. Hey, explore all your fantasies and limits, but know what you are not okay with. Two, if you don't want cheese on you, say no. It's getting a little naughty over here. It's getting a little naughty over here. Definitely double standard. If I can't be open about my fantasies, then they can't step outside the box sometimes and play. They can't be the right one. Here we go. Everybody thinks differently, see? Let's check under the hood and check your head. Goodness gracious. You guys are on fire tonight. On fire. I definitely 100% don't accept stale sex. Stale sex sounds disappointing, underwhelming. You can create a large spinning wheel. It leaves an element of surprise, but then it's also things you both like and would be okay doing. Yo, Yuri, that's me every day looking like that. I think I missed what exactly it was in reference to. Oh, you mean the ghost hunting Ghostbusters mode? I got you. It's a big like button. Yes, it is a big like button. I wish everyone smashed it more often. I know that the core audience does it. I know the prototypes stay true to their kind nature, but there's some ghosts. There are some ghosts that they don't know the rules of engagement. But my index finger is broken. Okay, use your pinky. Oh yeah, Strong Ballerina send me a ghost video. Oh, I gotta share it. Strong Ballerina, give me your permission to share your ghost video, because that was a work of art. Please, please give me your permission. I might have to share it in tomorrow's live stream. Locate it and then share it with the world, so your art does not die in vain. Someone disliked. How could you? Oh my God. No, that's good. If they dislike, they dislike. The YouTube still will pick it up. That's all good. I don't expect everybody to like it. Not everybody can handle this. It's not for everybody. I have to go. Bye, ladies, and thank you for the live. Jamie, have a great night. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you very, very much. Looks like Hazy is bouncing too. Thank you very much for joining. Have a great, great evening. No permission for Strong Ballerina. I guess the world will never see her Ghostbusters videos. I don't think it was too corny. I think you should reconsider. My dear community, before we get out of here, good discussion. Great, great discussion. Do a quick recap of what we talked about today. All right. So we talked about 10 early signs your relationship will last. Number one was you feel comfortable being yourself around each other. Number two, you consistently show up for one another. Number three, you are forthcoming about your pasts. Number four, you celebrate each other's accomplishments. Number five, you sincerely apologize to each other when you are done something wrong. Number six, you are both good listeners. Number seven, you share similar values and common life goals. Number eight, when you fight fair. Number nine, you are adventurous and enjoy trying new things together. And number 10, you spice things up in the bedroom too. There you have it. That's the list for tomorrow's live stream. What I would like for you to do is vote. I posted something on my community tab. When you come to my YouTube channel, you will go to community tab right here. I'm going to zoom in for you so you can see it. Community tab right here. Click on that thing. I'm going to zoom out so you can see it. The first thing you're going to see is the question, what would you like to see in the live stream tomorrow? You're going to see different options. Looks like some people already voted. You're going to have personal story, 2 wrongs don't make it right. Article review, what we did today, no votes so far. Live guest talk, 17. Video analysis, 17. Please vote after this live stream. Please, please, please. It's going to help me a ton to determine, and it's all going to be in one place, and it's going to give an opportunity everyone to do this, and it's anonymous, unanimous. How you say that word? It's one of those things to where people will not see your responses. Okay. So please give me a favor and vote for tomorrow's live stream. we'll plan to meet up at 9 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time again. And based on your votes, we're going to go for it with the topic for tomorrow's live stream. This was a lot of fun. Looks like Sadie said, oh, they better go undislike a Russian. This is great to read it. Listen, thank you. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for coming in earlier today. It was a lot of fun to see you all. I had a blast tonight. Tomorrow, we're going to do it at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Please vote under the community tab to make sure we're going to get the majority of votes for what you really want to see. Just to let you know what the personal story pertains to, I should have probably told you. What this personal story, two wrongs don't make it right, pertains to is that I received direct messages from a person who told me pretty interesting, extensive personal circumstance that she went through with a Russian man. And she was asking me for my suggestions. And it was just like one of those things that just can continue to build on itself, because I didn't respond at first, then I responded later, and she continued to send more messages. So I think that that was an interesting thing to look at as far as how other people approach intimacy with Russian men and what they look for and where their mind is. Obviously I wasn't going to release her information. I just simply, as always, want to share the points, the main takeaways in the situation itself, so we can have the discussion with the prototypes. So that's what it's about. Okay, that's what I have in mind for that particular topic of discussion. My friends, it's been so much fun tonight. I hope to see you tomorrow at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow, our usual time. This was a lot of fun. Have a wonderful day. Have a great hump day tomorrow. Enjoy your night. And if you should engage, or when you will go on these dates, hopefully you can utilize some of the things we talked about today. Okay? With that being said, prototypes, peace out. I will be seeing my prototype family tomorrow at 9. Peace.